Today we are going to be unboxing this brand new M4 MacBook Pro in the 16-inch. I got it in the silver color right here. Now you might remember 3 weeks ago I've already filmed an unboxing where I showed you this one, which is a space black M4 MacBook Pro, and after using it for 3 weeks, after joining the dark side, I decided to switch over to the silver. And today we're going to cover the comparison between the models, which configuration I changed to instead, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. I'm Annie, a brand and web designer and founder of emptistudio, and let's get unboxing. Last time my partner was like, you should do an ASMR unboxing, so this one is for you. Opening it up, and this is the silver. I don't know how an ASMR works. Is this what it's about? Look at the color, so clean and classic. I first saw it in store and compared it against the space black, and I thought because it's a little bit thick, it feels quite old school, but now looking at it again, it just looks classic and timeless. Now here's a side-by-side comparison of the two different colors. I know this is a really controversial topic. A lot of people love the space black. One of the main issues why I decided to switch over is really because of the fingerprint issue. Now I already cleaned this, but if you look closely, there is still a lot of fingerprint marks, so imagine if you leave it for a couple of weeks or even months. This is also my oldie but a goodie. It's the 2019 Intel chip MacBook Pro, and this is in space grey. This one also gives me no troubles at all with fingerprint. I've used it for 5 years. I barely clean it that much, and you can see the fingerprint issue is barely non-existent. I wish I could pull out my 2011 or was it 2012 MacBook Air in silver. I saw it the other day. It doesn't work, but it still looks gorgeous. So that's why I think the silver one is such a safe bet. I would have gone with a space grey, honestly, but because they discontinued it for this M4 range, I have no other option but to go with the silver. And here is the 3 colors. And I also got a sleeve that matches really well with the silver color. But I really want to touch on why I chose the space black in the first place. And one of the main reasons was I wasn't sure about this black keyboard right here compared and contrasted against the silver. Let's also take this off. Also, did you realize I got the Nano-Texture display? For comparison, this is what the space black looks like with a black keyboard. It does look nicer, it blends in very well, but look at this display, the one without Nano-Texture. So much reflection, so much glare. I've also set up my desktop the exact same way so you can see how well it is at diffusing the lights. Just check out this difference, look at that. Honestly, this is probably one of the best features of this upgrade. And if you're curious about how I set up my desktop to be super minimal, hiding all the docs, how I customize all the folders, you can check out this video right here where I walk through step by step how I customize everything. And because I'm obsessed with making things look pretty, I've also created for you a series of wallpapers that you can customize in Canva so that you can make your new Mac or your old Mac uniquely yours. Now let's take a look at everything that's inside the box. So of course we got the manual right here. And on the Nanotexture, it also comes with a polishing cloth that doesn't come with the regular display. We also have the instruction manuals right here, but there is no Apple stickers this time, not for any of the MacBook M4s, so unfortunate. But we also have this cable in the white, which matches the charging brick as well, whereas back in the space black version, it's a white brick with a black cord, which is a bit random, but that's okay, we're returning this anyways. Now bringing back to the laptop itself, we have 3 USB-C ports, which Apple calls Thunderbolts, and on all the Mac chips it's a Thunderbolt 5, which is just insanely fast. And then the earphone jack is here. We also have HDMI port, and we also have the SD card reader and the MagSafe charger. Speaking of charging, because now I've used this for 3 weeks, I'm here to debunk some myth and give you the truth. So Apple says that the battery life should be able to last 24 hours, and I knew it's not going to be true for the case when you're running a lot of heavy programs like I do. I'm a designer, so I run a lot of Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, Adobe XD, and I also have a lot of Google Chrome tabs open, which apparently is pretty harsh on your laptop's processing power. Taking that into consideration, this laptop, usually one single charge at 100%, lasts me around 7 to 8 hours, maybe a little bit more, but but on average it seems like every hour uses about 10% of battery, sometimes even more. So if I'm out for more than 8 hours, I will definitely still have to bring my charger around, which is unfortunate, but compared to my 2019 one, it only lasts about 1.5 hours on a single charge. So I'm pretty happy, and it is actually really fast charging. So by charging it for half an hour, it does get me around about 50%, which is really good. All right, now let's talk specs, configuration, power. What should you get? What did I get? What did I end up switching to? So in this Space Black one, I got it in 14 core CPU, 32 core GPU, and 36 gigs of unified memory and 1 terabyte of SSD storage, and I thought this would have been enough. But after stress testing it and just running my usual programs, the Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign summoned the rainbow wheel of death. It actually froze up the computer, and I brought it to the Genius Bar, and they said it could be that because Adobe hasn't tailored their software for this chip yet, but also it seems like I need to upgrade my RAM and also to future-proof it as well. If I'm planning on using it for the next 4 or 5 years, then that would be a wise idea. And this means on the silver one, I ended up throwing another $1,000 just to up it to the 16-core CPU, 40-core GPU, and I upgraded to the 64 gigs of unified memory, which is crazy, but I think this will make me feel very secure in the fact that this is going to be a beast of a machine, and I use this computer up to 10 hours every single day, and it is all the work that I do is on this little thing, so I'm just going to up it. And I also upped it to 2 terabytes of SSD storage. And this is unnecessary for most people, but for me, I'm always on the go and I'm always going to see clients. So I don't want to bring around hard drives with me, and I've also had hard drives crash and break on me where I lost all the files, so that's a bit of PTSD. That's why I made that jump as well. Honestly, I don't even have enough time in this video to spill all the tea on everything I wish I knew, so in this next video I'm going to be sharing with you all the things I wish I knew, 5 different things to be exact, that really changed my opinion of the MacBook that I bought and why that caused me to purchase this new one and the new updated configuration. So if you're interested, please go ahead and check that one out. And I've also linked unboxing of the Space Black one for you as well if you want to check that out. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!